3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday and halfway through this week. I hope you are enjoying your week so far. Please stay tuned for our interview as we are doing the second installment with our interview with the Namibia Disability Council. Before we head into the news, today's riddle. What has a head but no neck? The answer at the end of the show. Next up, we have the news. The Capricorn Foundation announced its partnership with the Gondwana Care Trust for the Meal for Two program through a financial contribution of 480,000 Namibian dollars in support of food insecure households across the country. The great success of the Meal for Two project over the past 18 months has encouraged the Capricorn Foundation to entrust the funding to the Gondwana Care Trust for 2022. In 2021 alone, the Meal for Two project provided over 250,000 meals to families and communities across the country, an average of 8,380 meals per day. The goal for 2022 is to provide even more Namibians with a daily hot meal. With the support received from the Capricorn Foundation, this goal is within reach. The funding received from the Capricorn Foundation will enable the Trust to support communities through Meal for Two over the next 12 months. Regional winners from across the continent with world-changing United Nations Sustainable Goals aligned solutions will come together for the first ever Global Startup Awards Africa, taking place in Cape Town on the 14th and 15th of June. Hosted by the Global Innovation Initiative Group, the event is a culmination of a 6-month-long process of extensive and rigorous research, networking, and collaborations across the globe with the aim of finding Africa's most promising innovators. With the help of 30 country partners, 50 ambassadors, and 250 innovation hubs, the Global Startup Awards Africa found close to 8,000 startups from 54 African countries with solutions to address 12 of the 17 identified Sustainable Development Goals. With a cohort of 215 independent industry expert jury members, the nominated startups and ecosystem enablers went through 3 rounds of judging and 2 rounds of public voting, which then narrowed down the search to 500 country winners, 60 regional winners, and finally 12 continental winners that were announced virtually earlier this year. All Namibians under 35 wanting to purchase farmland through Agribank now have up to 30 years to repay their loans. This is a 5-year extension from the usual 25-year period that is now only applicable to clients younger than 35. This change is prompted by the bank's financial inclusion agenda with a special focus on the youth. Under the Farmland Purchase Loan product, loans are advanced to purchase farmland or additional land for agriculture-related activities that are instrumental in adding real enterprise value to the national economy. This package is tailored for farmers seeking to ensure a well-developed and productive utilization of the land for food security and job creation. Over the past few years, Agribank has embarked on a youth-inclusive journey, providing youth-friendly terms and conditions. All applications are subjected due to due diligence and the credit policy of the bank. The Capricorn Foundation announced its continued support towards Imago Dei Welfare and Poverty Relief, a welfare organization established to serve our country's vulnerable communities with a donation of 500,000 Namibian dollars. Imago Dei has been in existence for the past 14 years and acts as a bridge between the community of means and the community of needs by mobilizing resources in a well governed, responsible, and transparent manner. The funds will be utilized to support numerous community based projects that Imago Dei has identified. Marlies Horn said that the Capricorn Group and most recently the Capricorn Foundation has partnered with Imago Dei for many years and has seen the positive impact on their programs in the most vulnerable communities through their hands on approach and their continuous monitoring and evaluation of the projects.
Yeah, charity for kids is close to my heart. We have a project here in South Africa called Help Yach, where we feed about 8,000 children every day. So yeah, children is obviously close to my heart. I'm a dad as well, and I'm looking forward to make a difference in your country as well. So come on and have a look at the show.
There was a case a couple of weeks ago where a person with disability went to the one hospital and he was vomiting blood and he had diarrhea, and the nurses and the doctors actually sent him home telling the mom that he is her responsibility.
Yes, that's exactly what I've indicated to you. Those are the barriers that, in terms of services, that needs to be broken down, and that involves us as employers, as service providers in Namibia, for us to be cognizant of the fact that we will have customers and clients that will be from the community of persons with disabilities, and we need to provide the services. And it's unacceptable that we are saying in our constitution that everybody has the right and the freedom and equality in terms of services, especially also in the health services. But there's a sector of our society that we neglect, that we do not cater for. It is unacceptable. Then we are truly breaching or are we against our own constitution in terms of the freedoms that we provide and the free access that people can get in terms of services. How are we progressing in terms of integrating people into society? Inclusivity, we don't even have data about inclusivity of persons of disability in society. How far have we come since the time in 2007 that we rectified the UN Convention on Persons of Disabilities? We need to look at that progress that we've made, and then based on that, we can then craft better policies, evidence-based policies, make better decisions, and also craft better national development plans that is inclusive for persons with disabilities, looking at those challenges and coming up with the necessary developmental programs in order to mitigate these barriers.
I think Namibia, there's still a long way to go for Namibia to really have access for all and to include everyone in our society. But I think we have to focus on what has been done. It's amazing to see that the census is actually looking into gathering also information on people living with disabilities, and that will help a lot for you. And then the side-by-side early intervention center in Koreangap does amazing work, and it's amazing to see how the team there is enabling community members and family members for them to help their own children and not be reliant on the center all the time. And then we should also look at the sign language school that opened up in the north, and that's just fantastic.
Yes, therefore we say government did, for government it is important, persons with disabilities and issues about persons with disabilities. It is important, and we've made a lot of strides, both on structures, putting structures down in terms of government departments such as the Department of Disability Affairs in the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty, Education and Social Welfare, as well as the National Council, and also the Federation for Persons with Disabilities, and organizations that are out there for persons with disabilities. Lots of strides have been made. However, I still iterate that we need to do a lot more. There are policies such as our national disability policy that is outdated, which we have also now trying to revise so that it speaks to the here and now situation of persons with disability. And as I said, for us to enable us to revise this policy, we also have this data collection project to ensure that we generate the evidence and craft better policies and legislative frameworks in order to benefit the persons with disabilities. But for me still, this is a cross-cutting issue. It is an issue for all sectors in society. So all the role players in the disability fraternity needs to make strides in terms of taking on issues of disability. Therefore, I think we need to have a more coordinated system and more dedicated resources in mitigating this issue. As I said, we had a more coordinated system of integrating, doing gender mainstreaming in Namibia. And that is exactly the same thing that we need to do for persons with disabilities. I know that employers have affirmative action committees. These committees need to look at these issues. I think now that we've made strides in terms of inclusivity of women in the workplace, we need to now focus on inclusivity of persons with disability in the workplace. And as you said, having them less reliant on social grants and more self-sufficient in terms of having employment. We have a lot of persons with disabilities with qualifications, but it is the accommodation of these people, the accessibility of these people that are a problem with employers. For example, like I'm indicating to you, for a hearing impaired person, you need a sign language interpreter to also be available. You need your staff members to go through that process of having gone through training for sign language. They be able to accommodate this person in their workplace, and those are the strides that needs to happen.
Yeah, well, for those not familiar with my music, I'm a folk singer and I'm a folk writer. So yeah, it's going to be a folky show, bluesy, definitely, maybe some rock and roll.
For today's recommendation, I am headed back into my kitchen, and on today's menu, roast chicken and potatoes. For my roast chicken, I start with cutting onion and carrots, and then I have a secret weapon. I loosen the skin from the chicken, and then I add some butter between the skin and the chicken, and then I just use my favorite spice, which is chicken spice and salt, and garlic, and I stuff it with some of the onion and the carrots, and then in the convection oven it goes for about 55 minutes at 210 degrees Celsius. And there you can see perfect chicken ready for a Sunday lunch. And then I get some water boiling for my potatoes, and that I boil until they are fully cooked. And when that happens, I just rinse it off, add some oil to the pan, and then I take a cup and I smash the potatoes. Yes, there's method to the madness. I use some smoked salt, which I find divine, and then I add a oil and garlic mixture, and into the oven that goes for another 15 minutes. And my kitchen smelled fantastic, and this is a crowd favorite for everyone who comes over for Sunday lunch. So there I have it, roast potatoes and roast chicken, and then of course you can add some vegetables to that to make this meal somewhat healthier. Enjoy!
I will be performing in Namibia on the 20th and 21st of May, and it's going to be good fun. Looking forward to the concerts that we can hold. I'll have my bass player that is on tour with me. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Come and visit us.
For today's life hack, if you want to keep your garden tools close by, simply go get a mailbox and put it as a decor item inside your garden, and that way you can hide all your tools in there. Next up, Jeanette Dier.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Flex Minutes. I'm Angelique, your presenter for Flex. Now today I'll be showing you guys glute bridges. Now listen, they look easy, they seem easy, but they are not easy when you amp it up a bit more. So if you feel like your workout is getting too easy or you're getting comfortable in it, don't worry, you can always take it a level further. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what you can do. So on our backs, glute bridges. Glute bridges, you're just lifting up and you're squeezing those glutes, guys. That is what we're doing here. This is the basic one, all right? So for you beginners, you can do this. You can start with your glute bridge, but now let's take it up a notch, all right? So lift up that leg and there you go. There you have a glute workout where you don't need to squat, where you don't need to pick up any weights, and you're just working on those cheeks, guys. So obviously alternating between the two legs and hold it there. So if you want to take it a level up, hold it there for a few seconds, even for a minute if you want to do that, and or you can pulse it. For modifications, you can have it in a figure 4 position and you lift and you squeeze. Constantly squeezing, guys, squeezing those glutes, because if you don't squeeze it now, nobody would want to squeeze it later. But that brings us to the end of today's Flex Minute. I hope to see you next time.
Could you figure out what has a head but no neck? A t-shirt. Please join us again tomorrow for our interview with Adam Tas, and if you haven't received your tickets yet or bought them, you have to hurry up because that is the place to be this weekend. We will be back again, same time, same place. Goodbye.